You're live. Hello, ladies and my name is Chris, and this is We Love Comics. And I don't understand people. Why are people teaching people how to crack open slabs so other people can now learn the technique to be able to scam more people? I don't understand the logic of people. People out there could have easily just shown a book in a slab and then said, I am going to put another book in the slab and then show the end result. And people would have been able to see, without seeing the instructions on how to do it, that there is a way to crack open slabs. What do you think is going to happen if somebody made an instructional video on how to make a bomb, which I don't recommend anybody do? Do you think everybody that watches the video like that is just going to say, oh, that's nice, I'll never do anything with that? Or do you think there will be people that will be very grateful that you now taught them how to do something they might not have known to do before? I've never seen so many crazy people in my lifetime. It doesn't shock me anymore. To put out videos that are going to teach people how to trick people is amazing. And there's a thing called drowning in good intention. So I understand, and I'm not accusing anybody of trying to teach people, but there are going to be people that now, who have never done this before, who have never seen the technique, are now going to have, and I've seen several videos where people are showing how to get this done and how to do it so you won't get caught. You don't think there's going to be, unfortunately, really bad people out there, really greedy people, really desperate people out there that aren't going to take advantage of you now giving them an instructional video how to make money off of people? And I'm seeing comment after comment, because I've been watching a lot of people's videos about this, and a lot of people are posting their opinions, and I see comment after comment on dozens of different channels saying, oh, it's only a couple of hundred that are going on. Only a couple of hundred. Now, that's a couple of hundred that they know of from one scammer. Do you think that no one else, if it could be so easy that several people have put out videos, not only for CGC, but I saw one for CBCS, an instructional video, how to teach criminals to do a criminal act. I mean, just imagine if you're in a relationship, you're married to either a man or a woman, because I don't care who you marry, okay? How many times will it be acceptable for them to cheat on you before you say enough is enough? Would you ever say, oh, well, my spouse has cheated on me only a couple of hundred times? That's not bad in the grand scheme of things, because there are thousands of days we've spent together. So it's only a couple of hundred times they didn't cheat. I mean, the logic I've seen on some of the comments on people's videos, and some videos themselves, you know, one murder is too many murders. I don't care if there's almost 8 billion people on the planet. Do people forget the fact that wrong is wrong no matter what level we're at? Is it acceptable to murder only hundreds of people because there are 8 billion people on the planet? Does that justify it and make it okay? Well, it's only a couple of hundred people that have been murdered. There are 8 billion people on the planet, so I guess it's okay. No, wrong is wrong. Because I guarantee you, if somebody that left a comment, or somebody that made or makes a video saying it's only a couple of hundred that they know of, I guarantee you, if they had a $15,000 slab that they ended up cracking open and finding out is a fraud, I guarantee you they're not going to have, well, it's only one of my entire collection. I don't understand the logic of people anymore. Common sense has gone out the window for seemingly everybody, or at least the majority of people. Stop allowing criminals to do criminal things, and stop justifying and making it seem logical that a company, and I'm not just putting out CGC, all the companies now have to make their slabs basically bomb-proof. So I'm not just holding this to CGC, and I'm not sitting here suggesting that it's in some inside job or something. I am going to give them the 100% of the doubt and say they were not aware of this, because I don't know either way. So I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, I'm a CGC hater. I have CGC books. I don't want to see them fail, because it's going to destroy everybody's confidence. This is not going to end well if people keep doing this. Disgusting people should not be rewarded because they're only the minority of the people causing the damage. Anyone ever hear the expression, a few bad apples spoil the tree? It doesn't take the entire tree. It only takes a few of them to ruin everything. Can people stop making videos teaching newer people something they did not know so they can contribute to the problem? And again, CGC is admitting to several hundred. Before CGC came out with stuff, there were people saying, well, it's probably 5 or 6, 7 or 8. Nothing to worry about, nothing to see here. Now it's a couple of hundred. Couple of hundred means 200 to 999. And that's if they're being honest. And that's from one person. So again, if you have a collection of, let's say you have a collection of 25,000 comics, and you find out 600 of them ended up being fake. In the grand scheme of things, that's not a lot percentage-wise. All right, let's even do it lower. Let's say 3 of them are fake, but they are a $15,000 book, a $20,000 book, and a $50,000 book. So if you go by percentages, yes, that is not a lot in the grand scheme of your collection, but I don't think anybody's going to say, well, it's okay. So the mentality of people I've seen that are leaving comments on dozens and dozens of videos saying it's only a couple of hundred in the grand scheme of things is saying, okay, as long as it's not mine, as long as I didn't have it, I guarantee you, anybody going on eBay right now and they see a 9.8 Amazing Spider-Man 252 newsstand variant with a new modern CGC label, you don't think there are going to be people now that are going to hesitate? And Alex, just so you know, I'm not calling anybody out, just so you know. But I'm gonna explain, because I love your channel. I'm subscribed to you. I know you don't watch my videos very often. I watch yours, often, and I respect you. But I can disagree with people I respect and like. Alex, like I said, you might have missed it in the beginning. If you have a spouse, how many times do you allow her to, him or her, because I'm not assuming just you in general, how many times can you allow somebody to cheat? If they've been with you 20 years and they only cheated on you 3 times, is that okay? It's wrong. We should not allow a company to get a pass, because what this is going to say is, if the majority of people say, well, it's only a couple of hundred, so it's okay, and again, that's only a couple of hundred from one scammer. There is no way that there is only one scammer in the entire comic book community. Do people forget the acetate situation with CGC? I have many things on CGC. You could watch hundreds of videos of people that are totally unhappy with what CGC has done to them. So to think this is the only incident and think this is the only scammer is, unfortunately for anyone, is naive. And they had hundreds from that one person that's been doing this for years. And I guarantee you, anybody, and I'm not saying Alex right now because I was responding to his message. I'm talking about anybody. If you have 15,000 comics and only one of yours ended up being a scam, but it's a $15,000, $20,000 book, you're not going to justify it the way that you're justifying it. You're going to be very unhappy. And Alex, I totally see where you're coming from. However, I still like CGC and will continue to buy with them with confidence. I'm not telling anybody what to do. You have every right to still like them. But if you end up finding out one of your comics that you end up grading ends up coming back fraudulent, then you give up the right to complain about it. Like I say, if you're in a relationship where a spouse cheats on you, you don't have to leave. You could stay, but you can't cry if somebody does it again. All I'm saying is, if we allow this company to not improve, and I'm talking all companies, I'm talking PGX, so I'm calling them out as well. CBCS, I'm calling them out as well. EGS, I'm calling out as well. Halo, I'm calling out as well. And any other grading companies. You have a responsibility now that they have proven that there are dishonest scumbag thieves that will do dishonest things. It's now all of these companies' jobs to clean up the mess that they, at the very least, are partially responsible for. So, my thing is, I am going to say what most people don't want to say. And that doesn't mean that people are not entitled to their opinion. I am never going to sit here and say, like, for example, and I'm just saying as Alex is commenting right now, that people can actually disagree without insulting each other. And that's why I respect him. And Alex says, Chris, this is how we discuss things. We might not agree on this, but we still respect each other. I appreciate you, my friend. See how easy that is? I can actually disagree with somebody, and we don't have to call names on each other. We respect the fact that we may disagree. There are some people in this quote-unquote community that are so, let's just say, overly sensitive, that God forbid you correct them on anything, or you share a different point of view, that people turn to hatred and violence and ganging up on people. It's the most ridiculous thing. Alex and I have started making videos almost about the same time. I started, I think, at the end of 2015. I think he started somewhere around 2016. I've always watched his channel. I have high respect for him. I'm actually very jealous of his comics. I would love to do some trades with him. He's one of the few people that I would actually trust to mail my comics to and do a trade. But I don't agree with what he did. And I'm actually, I don't know if you put your video on private or you deleted it. I hope you didn't delete it. Because no matter what video any of us do, we're going to get distractors. We're going to get haters. We're going to get people that have nothing better to do but to troll. But trust me, I learned, and I regret when I took down my original channel because of a bunch of jealous liars. But as you could see, Alex and I can respect each other. We don't have to hold hands and jog merrily down the street looking at rainbows. No, we can actually be two people that probably will never meet in our lifetimes, probably will never talk to each other outside of making a video or two, and actually have differences of opinions and see things from different perspectives, and it to be okay. Because I am never going to sit here and say, just because I think a certain way means everybody should listen to me and believe what I say, and if you don't believe what I say, then you're wrong and you're a hater. You know, like I said in my other video, we have what's called freedom. Real freedom, which most people don't really want. Real freedom means you can do anything, but you are not free to escape the consequences of your actions or inactions. We have to hold these businesses that are responsible for things that we love, and yes, we could make a poop ton of money off of, to be held at a higher standard of quality of service and product. The end-all value of just profit will destroy even the highest of nations. All you have to do is look throughout history of what greed and doing the wrong thing eventually does. Look at the Roman Empire. Countries and dominant countries can fall once they become too greedy. And the real reason for the fall of the Roman Empire was because of the fact that they were the first country to ever actually have the government monetize their money. In other words, they guaranteed that a certain amount of gold and silver would be in each coin. But back in those days, you know, you had to hire people to be able to extract those metals out of the ground because it wasn't something that was very easy to do with picks and shovels. Before there was, computers, and before there were machines, and before there was explosive devices. And as they spread their empire, they started skimming the coins. That's why coins today have those ridges along the edges, because what they used to do is they'd either shave off the edges and take away some of the gold and silver, or they started replacing the metals with cheaper metals, which devalued the currency. And then, yes, you had the quote-unquote barbarian people that started taking over, but what happened was they started basically bribing them to stay away, and then eventually they realized that money ain't worth anything anymore, and it toppled an empire. So you can last a while accepting people who do the wrong thing as long as you're making your money. But eventually it topples, and then everybody, including, when I say yourself, I don't mean you, Alex, specifically, but I'm saying everybody out there, including you watching this, will suffer in the end. I don't want to see that happen to CBCS. I don't want to see that to EGS. I don't want to see it to PGX. And I definitely don't want it to see it to CGC. I am no hater of any company, but I am no butt kisser of any either. Because even though I have a deal with PGX, which I do not get paid, I do not have a contract, and I never will. Same thing with EGS. I told them specifically when they wanted me, and they knew it. I'll never sign a contract. I have what's called a man's agreement. I'll call any of them out if they do the wrong thing. So I am not going to sit here and just pat one on the back because it helps me make money. They need to be held responsible now that they are aware of it. Now, just because they're saying they're aware of it doesn't mean that they're being 100% honest. Because if a gun to my head, somebody asked me, do you think CGC was aware of this before this came out? Gun to my head, I would say most likely yes. But of course, you know, as they say in a court, innocent until proven guilty. So I don't know. All we can do is speculate on things. But if anybody thinks there is only one scammer out there that's doing this, you're just being naive, and it's going to kill the community. Because I guarantee you, there are people, and I've read comments from many people's channels, there are people who will not trust any slabbed books anymore. There are people saying we should abolish it altogether. And if you think it's going to get better when that happens, you think there's scams now, wait until they don't have anything like a slab to protect people from things that they may not be aware of. So we all need to really be careful about this. We can join into separate groups and hate each other and point fingers and blah, 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 do the childish stuff that was okay when you were 12. Or we can all come together as a real supposed community and say, this is wrong, it needs to be fixed by all companies, those that know problems have happened and those that haven't had them happen yet. They need to be better for all of us so we can all succeed in whatever way we choose to use them. And if people want to go their separate ways and have these egos that they're so worried about saying the wrong thing with the wrong person, then you're going to get what you deserve. You notice nobody interviews me anymore. When I was really popular, everybody wanted me on their channel. Why? Because it can help them grow. Now that I'm supposedly a nobody channel, it doesn't matter what I say. There are still people that are going to hate me regardless of what I say right now. And to be honest, I don't care about them. Because they, like I've said before, by their deeds you shall know them. And you could see right here, people like me and Alex, we can actually have disagreements on a situation and not have to act like 5-year-old children and bash each other. He's not going to have his subscribers come and attack me, and I'm not going to have my subscribers, all 15 of you that watch my videos, go and attack him, because that's just stupid, it's childish, and it doesn't help the community. I hear people on videos for year upon year talking about comic book community. Where the hell is this community everybody speaks of? It's little divisions where people go into a little clique and a little niche, and they stick in that group no matter what, through thick and thin. If you cannot call out wrong, then you are part of the problem. Plain and simple. But that doesn't mean you have to. If everybody wants to walk around with rose-colored glasses on and say everything is wonderful and there's nothing to see here, don't be surprised that everything collapses around you, and all the people that would have saved you in the beginning that you ignored or you condescended, and I'm not saying you by anybody specifically, don't be surprised there's no one left to help you. Joey the Stuntmaster says, pointing out faults is much easier than finding solutions. I've already talked about solutions, and other people have as well. So instead of people making videos instructing other would-be, wannabe criminals how to do a criminal activity, how about people say to CGC, say to PGX, say to EGS, say to CBCS, say to Halo and all the other grading companies, listen, you may not have had the problem happen yet. I believe it probably could happen. And we have found loopholes that could actually make this happen. So even if your company has not had it happen yet, or you do not know if it's happened yet, we need you to step up and make these cases strong enough to where we feel secure that if some idiot scumbag thief tries to do this again, they will not be able to have it done. It's very simple. Everybody should have the barcode numbers for each book, and then on the inner welling, in that plastic container inside, they should have it, so it ends up having the serial number on it as well. What they can also do is on the edges of that comic, they should have it go up and down. In other words, instead of it going flat towards the edge, like in the label on top where it bends over, they can easily put a part of the plastic where it goes up like this and has a three-dimensional space that prevents it from being slided out that much easier. There is always ways to find solutions. For every scumbag criminal, there is a smart detective that can solve a problem until the scumbags find another way to do it. If anybody out there, I want to know, all of you out there, do you now have 100% confidence that if you go on eBay right now and you see a Hulk 181 at a 9.0 for $30,000 or $20,000 or $10,000, that you're not going to think behind in your mind, I don't know if I should buy this because I'm not sure if this is one of those. And if I guarantee you, there are plenty of people going to think that. And if you don't think the people that are going to be CGC apologists don't think that's going to affect your bottom line, there are already people saying, well, I know this book's a 9.8, but can you sell it to me at a 9.6 price because I'm not sure if this is legitimately a 9.8. You don't think that's going to affect your bottom line? You know what's going to help my PGX books when the next auction that I decide to do? Every single one of my PGX books was my own personal books that I bought, inspected myself, and sent in to get graded. So the people that will buy from me when I have my next auction, which God knows how many months away that will be, they'll know that those books in those slabs are exactly what they are. It's just, anybody that has made a video on teaching people how to open up any slab should delete them right now. All you need to do is make a video showing, let's say for example, you have a CGC Hulk 180 with no Marvel stamp. And you say, I'm going to put a Ghost Rider number 15 in that slab, and then I'm going to show you the end result. People will see the label that says Hulk 180, they'll see the Ghost Rider 15 in the book, and you can show them the edges and see how perfect it is, and without telling them how to do it, you can say, see how easy it is? And it would have the same effect. There's a reason why YouTube will not allow anyone to make a video on how to make an explosive device. Because some idiot will watch that video and do it and use it and injure people. So if anybody cares more about their views, because those kind of videos are going to get a lot of views, but unfortunately the few that are the minority are going to cause the most damage. So let's say 100,000 people watch the video on teaching you how to crack open a slab and replace it with a undervalued book. And let's say out of that 100,000 people that watch it, 10 of them decide to start doing it. You don't think that's going to damage the community? It's not the majority of the people, but enough of them can cause damage. So people need to understand that we need to come together as a real community and show everybody we're more than just bullshit words. Because I don't care about my views. I don't care if people disrespect me. I don't care if people like me. I don't do this because I need a pat on the back with somebody saying good job. Because trust me, over the years, I could have been like most of these bigger channels that just say what you want to hear so I can get the views and the admiration that they get. But you think I want to degrade myself and defile my own integrity for views and an extra couple of dollars in my bank account to mislead people that are supposed to be putting their trust in me? Are you kidding me? And there are still going to be people that'll downvote this video. There'll still be people that hate me. Congratulations. You're an angry, hateful person. Thank God I'm not you. And again, I'm not specifically calling anybody out. And I'm no angel. I've made my mistakes, and I try and correct them. That's the difference. CGC so far took several days, or at least a week or two before they responded, and the CGC apologist said, well, it's the holiday. You know what? I don't care. If you have a child, and God forbid your child is in an emergency, you're not going to sit there and say, well, it's Christmas. And yes, I know it's not the same thing. I'm trying to make a point that if something is important enough, it doesn't matter what time of the day or what day it is. If CGC knew that if they said nothing on Christmas Day, they were going to lose their entire business, I guarantee you the boss and the owner would have called somebody in the business and said, you need to get on the wire right now and get this done. If people want to keep making excuses, don't be surprised that the value of your CGC books, your CBCS books, your PGX books, your EGS books, and all the other grading companies will just see a big decline. Because whether you want to admit it or not, there are now people that see the situation that are going to not spend their money on a graded book anymore, who are not going to have the same trust as they did the week before the first video came out. And that's going to affect your bottom line. But that shouldn't stop anybody from buying CGC. I'm not sitting here saying don't buy them. But I do find it hypocritical that one book that ended up being proven wrong by PGX 8 years ago is still to this day destroying that company. And this situation with CGC that has minimum of hundreds of books from one scammer currently happening now, and people are ready to just give them a pass. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. I want to thank 15 out of the 30 people that were kind enough to hit the like button. It's sad that I have to make videos like this. And again, anybody that made the videos teaching people how to do this, I have no ill will towards them. I am not going to sit here and say anybody did it other than to just give people the ability to know how it can be done. But there are ways to do it without showing it. Because unfortunately, the minority that will take advantage of it are the ones that are ruining this. So that whole minority, it's just a small percentage, doesn't matter. Look how many people are talking about this. Look how many people now are going to think about graded books less because of a minority of people. So it shows the smaller amount of people can actually change things in a big way. And if people cannot see that, they're going to see it eventually to the point where no one's going to buy your books anymore. No one's going to trust anyone. If that's what you want, keep giving them a pass. I'm not sitting here saying that CGC or any of the other companies have to come up with a solution tomorrow, but the quicker they do it, the quicker they put out the fire. Because if you let a fire burn, it's going to continue to do damage. So you can sit there and cry about a little fire in the corner of your room and then watch it spread to the rest of the house, or you can spend the inconvenient time of putting it out and having to repair that small amount of damage. So you minimize the situation. Because I promise you, the inconvenience of a small house fire in a house is definitely going to be seeming appreciative if your whole house burns down instead. So thank you for watching. I don't know what to say at this point anymore. People are going to think the way they want. See, the difference between me and many other people is I can change my point of view. I can have something that I believe in, which, by the way, if you write the word believe, the word lie is straight in the middle, because whether you believe in something or you don't believe something, there's something you both have in common. Neither one of you knows something. I am one of those people that I can have a certain point of view, and if somebody comes along with a logical, reasonable explanation of why there's some other version or variety or something else that changes my mind, I'm able to do that. Why? Because I don't have a bias towards anything. I am loyal to what and who is loyal to me. By their deeds you shall know them. Joey the Stuntmaster says, boycott CGC like Bud Light. No, I don't believe in boycotts. unless you truly believe that they are criminals. Because I am going to give them CGC the benefit of the doubt, and I will say they were not aware of this. But now they are. And ladies and gentlemen of the CGC world, get ready for higher case prices. What they should be doing is staying consistent. If I have a PGX book, if I have a CBCS book, if I have any other graded book, and I send it to CGC for them to reholder into their label, they are going to take it out of the PGX slab, the EGS slab, the CBCS slab. They are going to regrade it and then put it in a CGC slab. This shows that they're partially doing the right thing. Now, when it came to their own books, if you sent in an already graded CGC book, they don't regrade it. They just put it in a new slab. That needs to be fixed. But I'm going to tell you, it's going to come to a cost to you. They are not going to absorb this extra cost of now having to pay more people more hours to be able to grade every single book again and think they're just going to eat that cost. What are they going to do? What do all businesses do? They hand it to you. That's why if you look at anybody that lives in California, I feel so sorry for you. But, you know, if you vote for the people that caused the problem, then I can't feel sorry for people. Stupid things happen to stupid people. In California, they just raised the minimum wage to $20 an hour. Sounds great, right? Well, there are companies like Pizza Hut that have now fired all of their people who deliver. All of them are going to be fired. And people in lower paying jobs like fast food restaurants are going to be replaced by robots and computer screens. So applaud your $20 minimum wage while you're on the unemployment line. People do not understand that businesses don't care about you. They will tell you what you want to hear because they are all snake oil salesmen and care more about the bottom line, and they're going to put out things that'll put out the fire and still do the same thing over and over again. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. I understand why people are loyal to brands, and you have the right to do it. But I hate to tell you this, that brand doesn't give a rat's behind about you. All they want is your money, and they will do anything and they will say anything to keep you from stopping their money supply from flowing from you. If you think they are your best friend because they told you that, that's why you're easily fooled. And people like me who will not put up with somebody, like for example, with Disney and Hollywood and even sports. I used to be a huge Yankee fan. I used to love going to having Super Bowl parties. I used to love my New York Knicks, watching them play basketball. You think I'm going to spend a dime on people that are saying if a straight white male is evil? You think I'm going to give them my money to Disney and to all these other businesses that are insulting me just because I have the right to exist? If you beat the people who once beat you, congratulations, you are now them. You are Frankenstein's monster. Which is ironically funny because when you say the word Frankenstein, everybody pictures the monster. Frankenstein is not the monster. Frankenstein is the scientist. The monster is Frankenstein's monster. It's so easy to manipulate people by saying what you want to hear. Loyalty has to be earned. If your loyalty is based on what money you can make, then you're not very loyal. I love Marvel. I love DC. I'm wearing a Superman hat right now. I loved watching the latest movies that were coming out from Marvel and DC. One of the all-time greatest superhero movies of all time is the original Christopher Reeve Superman 1. I saw that in the movie theater. I saw Batman. It wasn't Batman 89 at the time, but the first Batman. I was there on the Thursday midnight sneak preview of that movie when it first came out, and there were thousands of people lined up. It was an event. I don't want to see any of these movies anymore. Why would I want to spend money to watch a bunch of things that are basically saying people like me are evil? Do I seem evil to you? Or do I seem like a person that has common sense that's trying to waken people up from their mass hypnosis about everything? I don't understand it. But that's the beautiful thing about freedom. You can be free to be naive, whether it be willfully naive or just regularly naive. You can choose to do nothing. You can choose to do the right thing. You can choose to do the wrong thing. You can choose to do nothing. But that doesn't mean you will not suffer a consequence for your action, misaction, or non action. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.